Diddy attorney Mark Agnifilo has now confirmed that 50 Cent destroyed any real chance of Diddy being released on appeal. Fresh evidence presented against Sean Combs in 50 Cent new Netflix documentary Sean Combs: The Reckoning has reignited attention around the murder of Tupac Shakur, and it appears that Diddy will not be getting out anytime soon.
50 Cent don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of trafficking and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I got to admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to...
Diddy was already on thin ice after being caught drinking and making phone calls from inside prison. This documentary has now sealed his fate, and Diddy is fully aware of it, which is why he is fighting so aggressively to have it taken down. His legal team has already issued a cease and desist and is now threatening to sue both 50 Cent and Netflix for more than $1 billion. Unfortunately for them, 50 Cent obtained all of his footage through legal means.
It's that Diddy's legal team sent Netflix a cease and desist letter, but now the big rumor is that they're preparing a defamation lawsuit, potentially for $1 billion. Over the Sean Combs: The Reckoning documentary. They're claiming it uses stolen and unauthorized footage to create a shameful hit piece and damages reputation.
Is there precedent? Because when it's a documentary, footage doesn't necessarily have to be approved if it's considered a news piece.
And since you didn't watch it, Ebro, there is one piece.
I watched some of it.
Where, there's very intimate footage of Diddy with his lawyers. But in the documentary, it also talks about how he hired a young person to film him for X amount of hours, a lot, and didn't pay him. So if 50 comes along and is like, I will pay you for this footage.
Well, unless...
Yeah, that's the biggest congrats, by the way.
Well, depending on what the documentation is between that,
that person
and Diddy.
Yeah.
Right? If that documentation says that this footage is yours if I am paid. If I am not paid, the footage is mine.
Well, no, but I think the default would be it's his. If they didn't end up doing paperwork and the guy's just been allowed access, that's his footage.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. If there's not paperwork.
So if Diddy never signed paperwork, he was like, no, I'm going to get you when I get you.
Yeah, that's right.
Now Diddy never gave him $1. Now Diddy went to jail. He's holding all this footage. 50 goes, I'd like that footage. All right, how much, bud?
Yeah.
This documentary also shattered any remaining relationship Diddy may have had with his legal team. Exclusive never-before-seen footage was released showing Diddy allegedly plotting with his lawyers and even discussing criminal activity. As a result, Diddy lawyers are furious. It was revealed that Diddy secretly recorded phone calls between himself and his attorneys, and they are extremely upset about being exposed in this manner.
Boy, Diddy really screwed over Mark Agnifilo. I gotta say, this is awful that Diddy owes his life to Mark Agnifilo, literally his life, because he could have gotten life in prison were it not for Mark Agnifilo, his defense lawyer, who had a brilliant strategy. And Diddy screwed him over when he hired this videographer to chronicle his life without telling Mark Agnifilo that when Diddy and Mark were on the phone, this videographer was recording what Mark clearly expected to be an attorney-client privileged relationship. Now, it is true that the client holds that privilege, the lawyer doesn't, but Mark's clear expectation was that this was a private conversation. These were private conversations, and that he and Diddy could talk openly. And Mark could talk to Diddy not just as a client, but as a person, and tried to guide him in a time leading up to his arrest. And unbeknownst to Mark Agnifilo, Diddy has got this guy recording the conversation as he's sitting there saying, "You are screwing this up. You are messing up this case. We're losing." And knowing that that's on tape. And it's almost like he's performing for the camera and not telling Mark what's going on.
The only reason Diddy was ever able to walk free was because of the tactics his lawyers used and how they persuaded the jury to release him even after he was caught on tape. If his lawyers choose to step back, especially from the new cases, then Diddy is never coming out.
And the really enraging part about it is that Mark Agnifilo won this case for Diddy with legal strategy. It wasn't just an accident that this jury that had heard all of this in the news before the trial voted not guilty on all the serious charges. It was Mark Agnifilo that did that. Yet Diddy secretly records this guy and embarrasses him. And yeah, you could say, well, Diddy never expected that it would end up being broadcast somewhere else. Well, okay, but Diddy was planning on using it, or he wouldn't have had it recorded in the first place. So it's just really, really unfair.
Diddy believed he would walk away a free man and was even planning to release his own documentary. The only reason 50 Cent was able to obtain this footage was because Diddy betrayed the videographer and refused to pay him. Diddy, who was a billionaire, attempted to save money by not paying the person who filmed the footage. 50 Cent later confirmed this through an Instagram post where he shared Roger Bond's statement saying that Diddy lawyers would not have to work overtime.
Getting it is your bonds. Yo, man, yo, how 50 get? Blah, blah, blah. Yo, Puff, take this self doing that. Let me explain something to y'all. All right? Whether it's NDAs, whether it's whatever. When these young boys come in, first of all, he only deal with young videographers because he want to rob them, and he know that they want the opportunity to follow Puff Daddy, P. Diddy. They want that opportunity. So they get him at a low price anyway. But when you stay out so many hours a day, Puff wants a videographer with him 24 hours a day on call. Whether we on a yacht, whether we on a ship, wherever we at, he wants to videotape that, right? So now, they come to agreement. They come to whatever the pay is going to be. But then it be so many hours on that invoice that he don't want to pay. He gets in touch with the office. He gets in touch with the chief of staff. Yo, what is this I'm paying? What is this I'm paying? You know what you paying. You was outside all of these hours. It's 160 something hours in a week. You was outside 140. That's the invoice he put in. So now, being if you got a contract and he don't stand to that contract, guess what happens? He could do whatever he want to do with that footage. So now that footage goes to the highest bidder. And 50 had to be the highest bidder to get this is business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't in love with you. Everybody ain't dedicated. Everybody ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
50 is not only releasing new evidence, but is also actively making calls and sending letters to the judge in an effort to block Diddy appeal. To make the situation even worse for Diddy, 50 has not finished releasing the footage he possesses. In a recent interview, 50 confirmed that he has more than 140 hours of footage that allegedly shows Diddy involved in criminal activity. This footage is expected to be released on YouTube in the coming months, and there is even speculation that 50 may be coordinating with law enforcement.
I knew 50 Cent was not done with Diddy. I knew 50 Cent was not done with Diddy. He just confirmed that he has more stuff on Diddy that he couldn't even fit in the 4 episodes in the new Netflix Diddy documentary. With 50, it is so hard telling what this man got his hands on, but he said this in reference to the videos that he got of Diddy before he went to jail.
A lot of the personal footage of Diddy has shocked a lot of people. And I know, 50, the way you run, this cannot be all that you have. Is there other stuff that you just have not shown?
Yeah, well, everything couldn't make the It's only was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it's a lot. You had to pick and choose things.
And on top of him saying that he has more dirt on Diddy, he is also saying that more people came to him with allegations against Diddy that never made it into the Netflix documentary. With the anticipation, they ask him, are you going to make a second documentary and put it on Netflix since you have all of this stuff? And he says that he is about to put it on YouTube.
But everything that was out and all of these people that were coming forward, have there been any new tips that you've gotten since it has been released?
Well, yeah, everyone starts to feel a little more comfortable when they see other people telling their truth about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's got to be something on YouTube coming.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt like certain things were left out of this
Just a few months ago, Diddy attorneys confirmed that they were preparing to appeal his convictions and felt confident that he would be released on bail. Diddy truly believed that he had done nothing wrong and that despite being convicted, he should be allowed to walk free without serving any jail time.
Yeah, we are planning to appeal.
I want to hear them, bro.
We are planning to appeal. We think we have strong bases to appeal. The strongest basis is that the jury reached a verdict on coercion. It found there was not coercion. And I think the judge said coercion today as a basis for a sentence at least a dozen times. We think that is unconstitutional. Yep. We think that a jury verdict should mean more than our jury's verdict seems to mean, and so we are planning to appeal.
Absolutely. Filed a cross appeal. What would happen in that regard if they filed a cross appeal and then Sean Diddy Combs get a higher sentence?
He would not get a higher sentence, and they're not gonna cross appeal. We're gonna appeal. We think we're right, and they'll respond to the appeal, and it'll be decided by the Second Circuit as soon as.
Tell us about the conversation you had with your client after the sentencing.
Consensual. The judge clearly thought the sexual encounters weren't consensual.
Because he's biased.
Make of his remarks.
He's biased.
If anyone, I'm happy to go. So we think that's just absolutely inconsistent with the jury's verdict. I mean, the jury's verdict was resoundingly clear. There was no sex trafficking. There was no racketeering. Everything was consensual. Everything was adult, which is why he was convicted only of the prostitution offense. What we feel happened today was that the judge acted as a 13th juror, one that we did not choose, and that he second-guessed the jury's verdict.
And it was not only an appeal that Diddy planned to rely on. Before this documentary was released, President Trump confirmed that Diddy team had reached out to him seeking a pardon. TMZ also reported that there was a possibility Diddy could be released as early as the end of this year if everything went according to his plan. This was the same pardon Diddy was requesting even before his sentencing. Diddy lawyer Mark Agnello stated that Diddy instructed them to contact Trump and tell him that he needed a pardon and wanted one immediately.
We are following some breaking news right now, and Sean Combs is taking the first step to appeal his conviction and prison sentence. His attorney today filed a notice of appeal. Earlier this month, the disgraced music mogul was sentenced to 4 years in prison on prostitution-related charges. His lawyers have argued the conviction should not stand because Combs lacked a financial motive for transporting male escorts. More papers detailing the arguments behind the appeal are expected to be filed soon.
50 has been working to prevent Diddy from getting away at every stage, and he is one of the main reasons Diddy was unable to use any questionable tactics. 50 even submitted a letter to the judge before Diddy's sentencing requesting that a longer sentence be imposed.
What, you guys? Let me also write a letter to the judge. 50 said, "Dear Judge Subramanian, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He's very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class in there. As you are already aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army in 2 locations simultaneously. Later, his son, who's dealing with his own rape allegations, hey, come on, brother, come on, man. What Christian Combs got to do with this, 50? He claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male sex workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. Oh man, this is downright evil, you guys. Why would 50 Cent this?
Believe it or not, some people are actually attacking 50 Cent for exposing Diddy, claiming that 50 is simply jealous of his success. However, that argument completely collapses when the facts are examined. 50 Cent is not a struggling artist seeking attention. He is a multi-millionaire with successful ventures across music, television, and film. At this stage of his career, he has nothing to gain from jealousy and everything to risk by speaking out.